Welcome to Recollection Mall. If you were a mall rat like me, or spent your formative years hanging out or being dragged to the mall by your parents or your parental units, then you've come to the right place. Have you ever gone into your childhood, teenage, or current mall and wondered, wasn't there a store or restaurant there? So let's take a trip down memory lane and take a look at that mall's history of yesteryear. Be sure you stick around to the end of this video and see if you can take my mall survey. So leave a comment or a memory of this mall below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks. The Century 3 Mall, located along Route 51 in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, opened on October 24, 1979. In 1969, USS Realty Development, a division of United States Steel Corporation, wanted to find a more productive use for a slag heap, which had grown into an artificial mountain from years of industrial dumping. Locally known as Brown's Dump, the property encompassed 410 acres and overshadowed the landscape. A slag dump depository used for steel manufacturing waste had occupied the site since the early 1900s. It was known as the Brown's Dump. The 200-foot-high man-made mountain had a labyrinth of coal mining tunnels running beneath it. Excavation and clearing of the slag was a monumental task that would span many years. As a result of the clearing, numerous businesses began to appear at the foot of the mountain by the mid-1970s. In 1976, the DeBartolo Corporation partnered with USS Realty Corporation and proposed a $100 million, 1.6 million square foot shopping center. The mall's moniker, Century 3, was intentionally chosen as a way to reflect upon the 1976 United States bicentennial. Good year. The Phase 1 segment of the Century 3 Mall encompassed 75 stores and was dedicated on October 24, 1979. This included 2 anchors, a 2-level 121,000 square foot Kaufmann's, and a 2-level 173,000 square foot JCPenney. The Kaufmann unit was the chain's 4th shopping mall store and the first in the Pittsburgh region to anchor a mall-type complex. Phase 2 and its 46 stores debuted on March 12, 1980, and it included a 2-level 168,000 Montgomery Ward. Phase 3 added a 4th anchor, a 2-level 126,000 square foot Gimbels. It welcomed its first shoppers on August 1, 1980. A 2-level 231,000 square foot Sears was dedicated on October 6 of that same year. If you shopped at this mall, you may have remembered the 170 charter stores. Among them was American Eagle Outfitters, Deb Shops, Dr. Pet Center, Camelot Music, Lane Bryant, Plant Plaza, and Your Father's Mustache. During the 1980s, a 17,000 square foot addition was built on the west side of the Kaufmann's building, increasing its area to 152,000 square feet. The mall's square footage was increased to 1.2 million square feet. The Montgomery Ward's location only lasted a few years and ultimately closed in 1986. The Pittsburgh-based Joseph Horn Company renovated the building and opened on October 30th, 1986. Gimbels, the last in the Pittsburgh division to be shuttered, closed its doors on January 2nd, 1988 due to bankruptcy. Marshall's opened in the upper level space on November 11, 1993, while TJ Maxx operated a store on the lower level. Marshall's would close in 1996, and Illinois-based Wicks Furniture began business on the upper level on February 13, 1997. TJ Maxx remained and eventually rebranded their store as TJ Maxx and More offshoot. In 1994, Joseph Horn would close its store and be rebranded by Columbus, Ohio-based Lazarus that same year. Lazarus would close its store in 1998. At its peak throughout the 1980s, Century 3 Mall boasted over 200 stores, services, and eateries, which at the time was the largest enclosed shopping center in the Pittsburgh area by store count. Simon Property Group acquired the mall when it merged with the DeBartolo Corporation in 1996. Shortly thereafter, the mall underwent an $8 million facelift, which included the addition of skylights in the mall's common areas and the removal of the sunken stage area at Center Court, which was completed by 1997. Several contributing factors beginning in the late 1990s would result in the eventual decline of the mall. The biggest of these factors was the development of the waterfront, which opened in nearby Homestead in 1999. The development had significantly expanded over the years, pulling shoppers away from Century 3. South Hill Village, a smaller mall located only 5 miles to the west in Bethel Park, also underwent a major renovation, incorporating a large food court among its amenities. Adding to the mall's woes, it lost its first anchor tenant in 1999 when Federated Stores closed the Lazarus store due to underperforming sales. Other major retailers such as TJ Maxx and More and Wicks Furniture also closed in 2003 and 2004 respectively. The former Wicks Furniture location was replaced by Dick's Sporting Goods, and TJ Maxx and More was filled with Steve & Barry's. As early as 2003, Century 3 Mall was about 20% vacant, and by the late 2000s, several key retailers with locations at Century 3 Mall filed for bankruptcy, resulting in additional vacancies. In 2006, Kaufmann's was closed and reopened as Macy's on September 9, 2006. The mall went up for sale in 2006 as Simon refocused on its top-performing properties, including South Hills Village and Ross Park Mall in Pittsburgh's northern suburbs. As the mall continued to languish, it affected the mall's assessment value, which stood at $66 million in April of 2009, a 40% decrease from the previous $112 million in recent years. Prior to that, the mall was valued at $128 million. In June of 2009, it decreased further to $58 million. The struggling mall was noted as being one of America's most endangered malls. In April of 2009, Macy's Furniture closed its Century 3 Mall location as a cost-cutting measure. Just prior to the closing, the fountain in the near food court was drained and filled with mulch. In 2010, La Hacienda opened in its former Ruby Tuesday space, but it was closed and eventually replaced with Old Mexico Restaurant in 2015. Also during this time, certain sections of the mall parking were permanently barricaded and blocked off to the general public, particularly in the parking deck in the hallway going towards the Macy's Furniture Gallery. Simon Property Group defaulted on its $78 million loan for the Century 3 Mall in August of 2011, ultimately transferring ownership to its lenders. From September of 2011 to May of 2013, the mall was managed by Jones Lang LaSalle, On May 13, 2013, Century 3 Mall was purchased by Las Vegas-based Moonbeam Capital Investments, a real estate investment trust which operates other shopping centers across the United States. Sears would close on December 7, 2014. By 2015, the mall had become 60% vacant. On January 6, 2016, Macy's announced it would close its Century 3 store as part of a large round of closings across the country. Macy's departure resulted in a mass exodus of retailers to leave the mall. Its occupancy rate fell from 40% in January of 2016 to just 10% by December of 2017. The once sprawling food court, previously home to over 20 eateries, was now completely vacant after the last remaining food court tenant, Italian Village Pizza, closed on July 1st, 2017. The fast-fading mall continued to see more departures in 2018. Old Mexico, the last restaurant in the mall, closed in April 2018, leaving the mall with no food tenant. On January 1st, 2019, Life Uniform, the last of the mall's chain tenants, departed from the Century 3 Mall. West Mifflin officials condemned the property in February of 2019 after its sprinkler system malfunctioned. All remaining inline stores were now out of business. Dick's Sporting Goods closed on March 30th, 2019, leaving only JCPenney in operation.
Breaking news now, Century 3 Mall has been shut down. Signs posted on the doors that say it's uninhabitable.
And so what forced officials to close the mall? Ralph Iannati is asking that question, and he is live with more tonight. Ralph.
Thanks very much, Susan. Tonight, troubles are piling up for Century 3 Mall behind me here in West Mifflin. Now, earlier today, a West Mifflin code enforcement officer posted notices on mall entrances saying the mall was unsafe and uninhabitable. He said the building must be repaired, vacated, or demolished. The reason, according to West Mifflin Mayor Chris Kelly, the mall's sprinkler suppression system failed and there's no heat in the mall. Mayor Kelly said stores like JCPenney and Dick's at the mall are open because they have separate sprinkler systems. Now,
in August of 2020, JCPenney announced that it would close over 150 stores, including the Century 3 Mall location. It would close on October 26, 2020. Congratulations, you made it this far into the video.
when I find you.
Pop quiz, hotshot.
So let's see how close you were paying attention to my video. So how many anchor stores closed in this mall? So if your answer was 8, give yourself a hand. You were paying attention. What do you remember about this mall? Leave a comment below. And don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.